Going well, and hope Advent's going well for you, and looking forward to a wonderful Christmas time. I hope this year. But I'd like to talk to you today about limiting ourselves. Many people have limited themselves and have really imprisoned themselves in certain ways mainly because of fear. And they do it by not using the gifts and the talents that God has given them. Well, nobody likes me. Nobody's going to want to be around me. I can't do anything. I used to think that myself. You know, I'm not the most gifted person in the world, but God told me a long time ago, because I used the excuse, God, you got a lot of people better looking, smarter, and all that. God said, yeah, you're absolutely right. But it does nullify you from the call that I've placed upon your life. And we limit ourselves. We imprison ourselves. Many people are prisoners of their own device. They have limited themselves. They do not reach their full potential that they have in God or in this world because, well, no, for fear and other things. I just can't step out. A lot of that, some people it's mental illness, or it's, maybe they grew up and they were told they could never do anything. There are others, they've had some bad experience or whatever, and then that limits them from that point forward. But we need to use all the potential that God has given us. I see a lot of people who end up and they have great gifts, wonderful gifts, but sometimes can't even get out their own way. I know one person in particular, they had great gifts to use in certain types of ministry, but they couldn't get out of their own stinking way. That was one of their biggest issues. It could have got out of their way, could have done great things. I have known others who God had gifted them in certain other ways, but they don't use it because of fear, because maybe there was a bad experience. But sometimes we have to step up and move past that bad experience and bounce back. General Patton talks about those who bounce back. That is the only time you fail is if you never bounce back. But people have had a failure. They've had a bad experience. They have been laughed at. They've been made fun of. And those are terrible things. Should never happen. But they let that end up limiting them. And they never reach their full potential. So I think we should not limit ourselves. But we also should not be those who are part of the limiting factor. We should encourage people, especially young people. Young people need to be encouraged. There's some great gifts and talents among young people, and they need to be encouraged. They need to be told they can do some wonderful and great things, because they can. Sometimes you just need a little push. Sometimes you need a little encouragement. And we need to do that. So don't ever cut people down. Don't ever tell them they can't do anything. Don't ever tell them they're a bum. You shouldn't do that. And you know what? If they do have a bad experience, let's be that person that helps them to recover and bounce back. But let's not limit ourselves or anybody else, because there is so much untapped potential in the world, in the human race, that we I don't know what we've missed out on because of the untapped potential of multitudes of individuals.